1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Nice looking Thursday. You know, I think every time we have the climate control guys in here, it's cool outside. Maybe cool air just follows them. I'm not really sure. In the studio right now is Russ Ledbetter. He is the service manager over at Climate Control Mechanical Services. Greg Schmidbauer is making his first appearance here, and he'll tell us what he does over with Climate Control. And I heard Joe tell Russ that he was in charge of the chili cook-off. So there again, that word chili. I don't know if there's a theme going on here.
It's not a coincidence, Larry. That's all I know.
How you guys doing?
Doing
Good,
great.
good.
How are you?
Good. Yeah, and I got your email. We're going to talk a little bit about dehumidifiers. So
We are.
That's an important topic,
Absolutely.
especially when it comes to mold. I know that's a secondary issue, I guess.
Absolutely.
So what is it with every time you come over here? It's cool outside. You just follow you no matter where you go.
Well, yeah, that's basically what happens.
Climate control.
Yeah, we brought Greg with us this morning. I'm going to be moving more into the commercial realm of things, so Greg's going to be taking my spot in the residential. So I thought it'd be a good idea to bring him in and let everybody get to know him a little bit and ask him some questions.
Are the challenges different when you move into between residential and commercial? Are as an air conditioner? I mean, you're responsible for how comfortable we are. So
It is. I mean, I think the biggest difference is a residential customer is a lot different than a commercial customer, and the way we handle business is different. Residential is a more, face-to-face, one-on-one type of environment, where commercial is it's just more industrial. It's bigger equipment, heavier equipment.
now, just real quickly, you're working with us on the Paddock Mall project.
Yes, we are.
Right now, the Paddock Mall itself is air conditioned, the whole thing, right?
Yes.
Is each individual store also air conditioned?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
your
that.
new building, actually, when you took over that building, there was no air conditioning unit. So we actually installed the rooftop unit, all the duct work, and as soon as you get your walls done, we'll be installing the grills.
Oh, okay, excellent. But like the stores that keep their doors open all the time, are they air conditioned individually?
Pretty much. I don't know the exact number, but if you get on the roof of the mall, there's air
lots of
conditioning
them, huh?
units as far as you can see. So,
Oh my goodness.
so
Oh, okay. You know, my one experience with an air conditioner unit on a roof, it goes back to another radio station I worked for, and they wanted to drag a dish antenna onto the roof, a heavy dish antenna, and they used one of those pulley things for leverage, and they anchored it to the air conditioning unit.
and
Yeah, it was a mistake.
was it still there?
It was starting to pull up. Now, I wasn't on the roof. I was helping at the ground.
Right.
And if it had, pulled free, then I probably wouldn't be here right now. But,
Probably not.
yeah, it didn't.
May have been an issue.
Wasn't a good idea. Obviously, we picked the wrong guys to do that job. Greg Schmidbauer, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. Now, are you new to the company?
I am. My first week, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow. And did you just move from Wisconsin? I know you said something about Wisconsin.
I've been in Florida since '93.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Family's still up there, but in Florida since '93.
Was this your profession up there?
It was not.
Oh,
It was
okay.
not.
Okay. I was just curious because up there, obviously, you have different conditions.
Just a little bit.
Well, maybe the same, just different spans of time, right?
Correct.
Longer cold time and
Snow on Easter, those kind of things.
I kind of missed that, don't?
Yeah.
So what you'll be handling the residential?
I will. Yes.
Now that's a huge job. I mean, there's a lot of homes around here.
There is, and we're looking forward to the challenge. Absolutely.
What is the first step that people normally take when they contact you? Do they normally have nothing at all and you start from scratch?
Normally, it starts with a service call. If they haven't had their unit serviced,
gotcha.
they'll give us a call.
Usually it's not
And then-
working, right?
Right, and then we'll try to get them on a maintenance program, obviously, which is so important, maintaining these systems at least twice a year.
Now, we really, as Americans, don't have any problem getting a new car every 2 or 3 years, or maybe 4 or 5, depending on who you talk to. But for some reason, we want our air conditioners to just last forever, 40 years, 50 years, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the mindset we need to change.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
If your car had 500,000 miles on it, would you put your family in it and head cross country? Absolutely not.
Or how long will your new car last if you don't change the oil?
Correct.
I like that.
Basic analogy.
And so that is where we really fall short. And when it breaks, gosh, we shouldn't be surprised. So that maintenance, I know we bring this up almost every show, the maintenance contract is clearly a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And if a system breaks
stereo.
down, it's not going to be Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. It'll be a weekend when you have family in the middle of summer. That's just how that works.
Well, in the middle of summer is when you'll notice it.
That's true.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the dehumidifying part of this. Is it?
Well, there's a couple things. Number one, you were touching on mold spores, bed bugs, viruses, those type of things. At 50% humidity or below, they can't survive. So instead of just filtering something out of the air, you're just not giving it the ability to grow.
Really?
Absolutely.
I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Bed bugs is in that group too.
Absolutely. They absorb moisture through their membranes. They don't drink water, they absorb it. So if you control the moisture level in the home, they dehydrate.
I didn't know that.
Dehydrated bed bugs.
Yum.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds good.
And there's a
That's an interesting fact.
absolutely.
I didn't know that. Do we have bed bug problems in Ocala? Do we? Yeah. For the listeners, Russ is
I'm
shaking
shaking
his
my head, yes, by
Yeah,
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty universal.
And the other thing too that's important as far as humidity goes, when you get to those spring, summer, and fall, winter temperature changes where it's low to mid 70s, and the humidity gets up there, in order to drop it, you have to turn your air conditioner on, and then you end up becoming cold in order to get the humidity down in the house. With separate dehumidification, you can control the humidity and on average run your thermostat 1 to 2 degrees higher and achieve the same comfort level.
Okay. Is there a switch on the newer thermostats? I don't have one on mine, but that is simply for dehumidifying?
Yes,
Without turning on the air conditioner?
Separate unit.
But it's controlled by the same thermostat?
It would not.
Oh, it's
separate
not.
controller that mounts at the thermostat.
I gotcha. Now,
Yeah.
how do you gauge this? Is it just a matter of feel, or does something actually kick in when the humidity gets to a certain point?
No, something kicks in. It has a thermistor that actually senses the humidity in the room and then will bring the dehumidifier on independently of the air conditioner.
What's it called? A thermistor?
Yeah.
Huh.
Thermostat.
Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah.
I have to remember that one because I'm sure it'll come up in a test later on. So when see, I don't know anybody that has this. Is this something new?
It's becoming more popular. Not new.
Is it a money thing? In other words, and you hear this a lot, that if you would dehumidify your home, you wouldn't have to have the air conditioner on so much. Therefore, you'd save money.
You'll save some, but it's almost a break even, really. It's just a comfort issue and a health issue. But, in a 2,000 square foot house, a dehumidifier during the summer can remove up to 60 pints of water a day.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
In a house.
Uh-huh.
Now, in the commercial aspect, especially in a health facility like a hospital, especially if it kills, the humidity level can actually kill, problems, That's got to be a big issue for them.
It actually is. Part of our checks when we do commercial applications is check the relative humidity of the room, and if it is high, then we have to implement some type of control because you have the spores, viruses, and bed bugs and things of that nature. So,
the other day we were talking about how there was actually an article about how Holiday Inn will intentionally put some scents into a room. Like if you're having a wedding, they'll put a little bit of a fragrance that smells like flowers. If you're having a business meeting, a little bit of leather fragrance. I guess they don't mind saying that. Do you ever have that kind of a question? Do people say, "Hey, can you put some kind of a deodorant in my house? I got a smoker who lives here," or something like that?
It doesn't come up a lot. I mean, there's a couple air purification things that you can do. The only scent thing I've seen is there is a filter out there that basically has a air freshener built into it, and you actually dial it open, and it'll produce like a floral scent through the house, but just not a lot. And they do make some sprays that you can apply to filters and things.
Well, see, I would trust that more than those plug-in things. Those plug-in things have been responsible for some fires. So, I mean...
They are, and when we spoke of VOCs, of volatile organic compounds, and that is a component of those air fresheners. So although your house may smell better, it may not be ultimately healthy.
Oh, really? Okay. If you have a question right now for Russ or Greg, the phone number is the Climate Control Source Hotline. Climate Control actually sponsors our phone call-in line. You hear us say that all the time. The number is open if you have a question. It is 352-622-9622. Russ and Greg are your hosts. Good morning. You're on the air with Russ and Greg.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Say, would humidity control help allergy problems? Has anybody come to you and say, my doctor says I need to have a better humidity in my home for allergy reasons?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. I know the air is being filtered and clean and that, but still you got the humidity situation either it's going to be high or low,
Right. And controlling the humidity is completely independent of the filtration. And like we had said earlier, if you're actually not giving those allergens an opportunity to grow and survive, rather than filtering them out.
Yeah. In your estimation, what would be let's say the perfect humidity in a house of around 2,200 square foot?
50 to 52%.
Oh, that low, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And would that be all year round?
All year round.
All year round.
Right.
And then would you have to have something hooked up to your air exchanger to get that, or do you use like portable units? Or
we don't recommend the portable units. You're only
Okay.
controlling one room, and to do a house that size, the number of units you would need would be cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
New air conditioning and heating systems do have the ability to control humidity.
Yeah.
Or you could look at a separate whole home dehumidifier that would tie into your supply and return ducts.
Okay.
And then operate independently of your air conditioner.
Would that unit be inside, or would that be an outside unit?
It usually installs in the crawl space in the garage.
Okay.
And then
yeah.
ties into your ductwork up in the attic. Then
Yeah.
we run the drain line, usually tie that into your existing drain line.
Yeah. I suppose it would, the size of the home would determine the size of the unit, right? Like, you got 13 SEER air conditioning, or 16 or 4 ton, or 5, 6 ton. So the larger the home, the bigger the unit, evidently, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Based on the volume
Yeah.
of the space.
Are they much of a drain on electricity?
It's about a wash as far as the dehumidifier running versus your air conditioner running less.
Yeah.
The first couple months that it's installed, you will see a slight increase in your power bill as the moisture is removed from the home.
Okay.
Because it will actually pull moisture from in between your studs and through the drywall and into the home. It'll dry the house out that completely.
Yeah.
But even your newspapers and magazines and things that you're sitting around, when you go to pick them up, you'll just notice a different crunch to them, a dryness to them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Exactly.
And your clothing, it's very noticeable.
Yeah. Now, this unit would run independently of your air and your heat pump,
If you went that direction, yes.
or otherwise it would work when that unit is on.
Correct.
But it's probably better to have it independent, because you might still have high humidity but cool temperature in a house, right?
That is correct.
Yeah,
Yep. Even the newer systems, you'll get a 3 or 4 degree temperature differential when it's dehumidifying.
Yeah.
So that is the benefit.
Does that take a couple of days to install?
No, usually a half a day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And most people notice a difference in the home by the time the technicians are putting the tools back in their truck.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It works that fast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah, bye now.
Bye.
Now, one question I have about dehumidifying an environment is static electricity. We used to have that. It was a huge problem here. I don't know what we did to fix it, but is there a way to kind of have drier air and at the same time none of this shocking yourself every time you touch a doorknob?
That's an interesting question, Russ. I haven't run into that.
Okay.
Down here. Up north I did, when the humidity was so low.
Right.
But
Right.
I haven't seen that.
Have you seen it, Russ, at all?
No, I think if it's kept in the correct range, you're not going to have that issue. Now there are actually humidifiers as well, not just dehumidifiers. So if you had a situation where year round you're getting shocked every time you touch a doorknob, we would measure the relative humidity, and we could actually add a system that
Oh, wow. But
adds moisture to the air.
likely is not in Ocala, I'm guessing.
Probably not. Not
Yes.
in the middle of July.
Pretty humid here. Yeah. Maybe in the colder days. I'm not really sure. And I know this isn't about humidity, but thinking of static electricity made me wonder about lightning. I've known at least one person who had to get a whole new air conditioner because of a lightning strike. Are there preventive things to avoid that?
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Hold on.
Let me go to the phone and then Russ has got a little
Surge protector.
voice thing going on right there. Good morning. You're on the air.
Hi, Larry.
Hey.
There are special floor waxes for static control. They're used in in electronic manufacturing, but that would reduce your shock problem in a studio when the humidity's low.
Oh, really?
Also, wearing natural fibers, no nylon or polyester, things like that, they tend to generate more static.
Great. I take my nylons off.
Greg said, Russ said he now needs to take his nylons off. All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, he'll have to leave, not wear his pantyhose to work anymore.
That's too funny. Well, I didn't know that. So there's a polish, you said, a wax?
Yeah, it's a special floor wax. They're anti-static.
Even for carpets?
They're sprays for carpets.
Sprays, okay.
For one thing that will work with a lot of them is take fabric softener, thin it down with warm water, put it in a spray bottle, and spray a light film.
Oh, there's an idea.
That's interesting.
A company called Charles Water specializes in these products.
Okay.
We bought them when I worked. This is Mike, the computer guy that used to be on your show with Hank.
Right.
And we used that stuff when I worked at Microdyne.
Right. Oh, okay, Mike. Yes. Now I know who you are. Well, thanks. I appreciate the information.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks. And I guess with electronics, that it becomes even more of an issue, right?
Absolutely. What I was going to say in your lightning, we can install a surge protector on the outdoor unit that will protect against lightning strikes.
Oh, that's good. And is there insurance against that? Could we buy? Like an air conditioner can be out there in money, a good one, right?
Right. I don't know the exact dollar amount. I have to look at it, but it does guarantee up to a certain dollar amount if something should happen.
Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, it's an investment. How long should we expect it to last?
An air conditioning unit?
Conditioning unit, yeah.
Honestly, average life expectancy in this environment, they say 10 to 12 years.
That's a long time.
But if you're getting 8 to 10 years and your repair bills are starting to increase, it's a good idea to look at replacing a unit because they're more energy efficient and there's more technology. They've been refined over the years, so it can make a big difference in your home.
That's a long time. You would, and I'm guilty as everybody else is. I mean, I have an old one too.
Well, again, not to keep throwing preventive maintenance around, but I mean, it's honestly, if you're doing your preventive maintenance twice a year and checking all the components of a unit, it's just like a car. I mean, you can buy a car that'll last you 2 years. Some guys have cars that have lasted them 10 years, and the ones that have lasted 10 years have probably been on a regular maintenance program.
Now, can you look at an air conditioner, know that it's old or new? I mean, are they that much different now than 10 years ago?
Absolutely.
Just by looking at them?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And efficiency-wise. And the nice thing about the maintenance programs, too, is you're checking these. You're seeing when they're starting to use more electricity. You see when coils are starting to wear. You can get the homeowner to start planning, for that expenditure rather than having it go out and,
See, that's what I should do. I should just get a whole new one.
Okay.
Done. Sign here, Larry.
That's right.
Thank you.
Well,
Funny you should say that.
I mean, that was a silly back and forth, but that's really how simple it is. Make a decision and sign the contract and get, you have to hand over some cash.
Yeah, a little bit.
What are we looking at? Is there like an equation? How many foot equals how many dollars? Like square foot, like if you have a 1,200 square foot house, it's going to be a...
Well, there's a square foot, there's a per ton, so a rule of thumb is 400 per ton, 400 square feet per ton as far as sizing. And that's just rough. The way to do it correctly is doing the manual J load calculations. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the rule of thumb. I don't have
We don't know the dollar amount per...
Yeah, I mean, we offer a lot of different brands, a lot of different features, and that's one of the things we do. We actually sit down with a homeowner and let's discuss what your issues are. We're not all about coming in, selling the unit, installing it, and we're gone. We want to actually take care of your problem.
Does the ductwork need to be changed, or
sometimes, and that is part of our maintenance agreement. And when we go in home to do a sale, we physically crawl up in your attic and check all the ductwork, make sure the boots are sealed, it's intact, it's sized properly, and that's with the variable speed units. That's a big issue, is making sure the ductwork is sized properly, and we check all that. I mean, that's all inclusive in our quotes.
Does a two-story house get 2 units, or does it use 1?
It can go both ways depending on the configuration of the house.
And square footage.
Did I ever tell you this, that in Key West I saw the air conditioning units elevated, I guess, in case of a flood? They're all like on platforms, like maybe 6 or 10 feet high.
That's probably the reason. I was just out west not too long ago. I was in Las Vegas, And most of the condensing units we have on the ground next to our garage are all mounted on the roof, and it was really kind of strange for me to see.
Why? I wonder why.
You know what? Honestly, I've never gotten an answer. I don't know. Greg may have some.
On that, I don't know. I know in Wisconsin we do it due to the snow, to
Right.
keep the condenser above the snow level.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Key West, this probably has to do with flooding. Keep the condensing units off the ground.
Yeah, yeah. The topic today, we're trying to focus on dehumidifying the home and the important role that keeping the air dry has. And we have learned that it actually helps to kill problem bugs, even bugs as big as a bed. Bed bugs are pretty big. I guess you're right. You never see them drinking at the toilet, so they must.
And you better run.
And there's a Sealy statistic out there, and I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but over the course of the life of a mattress, it gains 33% in weight just in
Really?
in bed bug
Oh.
remains and dead skin, that type of thing.
Yeah, moisture, dead skin, and critters.
And critters.
You're kidding.
No.
No wonder you're not allowed to resell them.
Exactly.
Don't take that tag off.
Oh, wow. That is gross.
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah.
So it just goes in there somehow. Would that change if the air was drier?
Yes, absolutely.
Which part of it? The bug part? The skin would still come off, wouldn't it?
The bug part of it
And moisture.
and the moisture.
Just think somebody could clone me from my mattress.
That's a thought.
Climate Control Mechanical Services is who Greg and Russ represent here today. Russ Ledbetter and Greg Schmidbauer. Greg making his first appearance here. And you've only been with the company a month?
A week.
A week?
This is my first week.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And is Russ giving you a hard time?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. But what a phenomenal company. I mean, really.
And you didn't know there was a radio show in the deal, did you?
Surprise.
Not till yesterday afternoon.
We do a radio show. What?
We like to keep them on edge around there.
Yeah, all of a sudden you had visions of playing Inagata DeVito or something.
That's right.
Well, I know what we'll do with our time.
Yeah.
We'll play an old song. Okay, so now we have learned in the past few weeks some interesting things about air conditioning systems that I really didn't know. I mean, I knew that it cooled and heated the air. I didn't know that you could have an ultraviolet light to kill bad things. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that you could have an extra filter system, right? You brought
true.
that up. Mm-hmm. And now we're talking about a dehumidifier that's also can be added. Are they all in the same box outside? Are they in separate? Where are all these things?
Well, your UV light is usually going to be on your inserted in either the air handler or the ductwork. Dehumidifier is normally connected to the ductwork, like Greg said, in a crawl space. Different components go different places. It really depends. Filtration system, you could add a filter rack under an air handler, or you could use additional filtration on the side of the air handler. I've seen it inline in the ductwork. Really depends on the setup itself, where it would go.
And pricing, is it better to get this all from the start? Let's say I said to you, I want a whole new system, rather than a year from now having another piece added. Would it make sense to just get it all at once?
Yeah, and when we make a presentation, we want to sell you a solution to all the issues that you're having. Now, do you have to install them all? Absolutely not. I mean, if we came to your house and said you need additional filtration, UV light, and you said, well, can't do it right now, we understand. But it makes more sense to do it all at one time.
All right, Joe handed me a note. He has some questions. How many trucks are in your fleet?
Depends. We have currently we have 5 in our residential and 9 in our commercial. We are a part of a larger company, and altogether we have about 40 vehicles in our fleet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
So, and I guess the reason for the question would be how long, I guess what that translates to is how long do we normally wait after we put a call in?
You will hear back from us immediately. Normally, we're have a tech en route within a half hour. Installs when if you were to purchase a unit from us, as soon as permitting's done, which usually a day.
Yeah.
By the second day, we're doing the install.
And you guys are 24 hours a day?
24/7, 365.
Oh, wow. You hate those late night calls, don't you?
Nah.
I think I asked that once.
Yeah, mine started at 5 this morning. So
you did?
Yeah.
What happened?
Just just
Somebody called up,
somebody called up.
and they what? They were cold, huh?
Oh no, just coordinating the day.
Oh, okay,
You know,
okay.
again, we are 24/7, so we
Yeah.
we get calls commercially in the middle of the night, and we have to scramble and get a crew out.
How long have you been doing this, Russ?
I have been doing this 2.5 years. My background is actually information technology, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I came to Ocala from Hawaii a few years ago, and couldn't find any IT work, and met Louis Wise, the owner of our company. He gave me an opportunity, and it's been very enjoyable. I'll be honest with you.
Is there a reason to, and is it possible to? I'll kind of combine two at once, since we're so close on time. To actually control our air conditioners from our smartphone?
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's a good thing?
Sure.
Yeah? Why?
Well, just for instance, let's say you were on vacation,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to be back on a Monday.
It's a possible thing, right?
Yeah, you could actually get online and turn the unit on, or turn the temperature down, or turn on a dehumidifier via the internet, actually through a smartphone application.
Really?
And we'd be more than glad to talk to you about that as well.
So that's... Okay.
Yeah.
It's not only possible, but you like it.
Oh, absolutely.
You like this idea.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I don't.
Do you have it?
I do not.
And how long has Climate Control Mechanical Services been in business? We'll end with that one.
Our current business, 8 years, but we come from over 40 years of a family business.
Oh, okay. All right. So will we see you again, Russ? Or you?
Absolutely, every once in a while.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I get
okay.
out of the office for.
But you're
a half
handing
hour.
your torch over to Greg.
I did. I'm very confident that he's
All
going
right.
to take the company in the direction we need to go, and I can move on to other projects.
All right. All right. Well, nice to meet you, Greg.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you.
Thank you for coming in and educating us about something we kind of take for granted. And I'm with you. Make it an every 4-year thing. Get a new air conditioner, or at least get that maintenance agreement, and that way you'll know if you need a new one. Thank you again. Thank you, Russ and Greg. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
ABC News Now. I'm Karen Chase. More trouble for Carnival. Just a month after its Triumph cruise ship was stranded at sea, another ship, the Dream, suffered a technical issue while docked in St. Martin. The company